This week I came across this headline that earning 100k doesn't make you rich and that it's becoming increasingly common. To someone on minimum wage, 100k feels like a dream of a salary. It's that six-figure barrier that you imagine means that you're rich and that there will be no more money worries. Having seen this headline, I decided to share it with my Instagram community and see what they thought. I had a ton of responses, including lots from people that are on 100k salaries. They don't feel rich. They can pay their bills, but they don't feel rich in terms of having tons and tons of disposable income. They were very much still having to count the pennies. Now, I'm not saying that having six figures isn't an enviable thing. Of course it is. You're in the top 5% of earners. But this whole thing made me think about how even six figures doesn't gift you with infinite money. There's still a limit to your spending power. And with rising inflation, mortgage repayments and bills, even a six-figure salary doesn't go as far as it used to. And this can also depend on where you live and your family situation. And this is why frugality is so important, no matter how much you earn. I'm going to talk about why I'm extremely frugal and why frugality is always the right choice, even when you're on a six-figure salary. The first reason why I am extremely frugal is that no amount of stuff is ever going to feel like enough. Whether you earn a six-figure salary or not, the temptation is all around us to spend to look rich. Consumerism is everywhere. It's like the drunk party guest that won't go home. But spending to look rich is the fastest way to have less money. Rich people are focused on spending to maintain a certain lifestyle, while wealthy people are focused on growing their wealth. Rich people have liabilities, stuff and debts. Wealthy people have assets. The reasons we spend to look rich are very varied. They might be connected to negative emotions such as boredom or loneliness, but a lot of the time it's about how we want to be perceived by others. High-end companies don't just sell us stuff. They sell us the idea of who we will be if we buy it. We're saying we're successful, we're attractive, we've got great taste, that we've made it. Instagram and TikTok show us lifestyles that are truly enviable, featuring gorgeous luxury travel, brand new clothes all of the time, and home decor hauls that are designed to attract our attention and make us feel envious. We're constantly being told about the latest trend and all the must-haves attached to it. Even the concept of minimalism, which is supposed to be about having less, has been commercialized to absolute death. These days, minimalism is all about having everything in tiny, cute boxes with beautiful labels and a really gorgeous pantry and a really, really beautiful boot room and adding paneling to your walls. It's become an aesthetic rather than a practical lifestyle. Whether we spend excessively because we're in the top 5% of earners or simply because we want to look rich, when we take part in this race to look rich, we never reach the finish line. And that's because it's a cycle that never ever ends. You will never own enough stuff or the right stuff to feel like you've done enough to tick the look rich checkbox. The next reason I'm extremely frugal is to avoid squandering my gains. Parkinson's law of money states that your expenditure rises to meet your income. We might also refer to this as lifestyle inflation. Say you get a 10k pay rise, you spend it on upgrading your home, getting a better car, and taking more luxurious holidays. The trouble with doing this is that when you spend every gain, you're not leaving any room for error or to save for the future. As soon as we normalise our new level of material goods and experiences, our income has to scale up again to give us the psychological kick of a whole new tier of goods and experiences. Studies have shown that as earnings increase, the amount that we think we need to earn in order to be truly content increases as well. It's never quite enough to meet our expectations of the best possible lifestyle that we want to live. People always think they need a little more money to be happy. For this reason, I make a really conscious effort to appreciate what I actually have and to make frugal decisions to protect the things that really matter to me. That includes a roof over my head, being able to pay my bills without any stress, having money in the bank to pay for my children's birthdays and Christmas presents, saving for the future to build my wealth for retirement, and also making sure that I've got money to help my kids as they transition into adulthood. Another reason why I am frugal is because you never know what's coming. We can never know what is just around the corner. It could be a job loss, or that your earnings take a hit, or that ill health means that you cannot work as much and therefore cannot earn as much. The temptation when you're earning well and managing to pay your bills can be to stretch your expenditure even further in order to enjoy all of the things that you can afford. The trap here is that it can prevent you from saving for a rainy day. Someone earning 100k with no savings will be much worse off if they lose their job than someone on 50k who spent 10 years saving every month and built a pot of over 70k that can last them more than a year so that they can get back on their feet. Frugality gives you peace of mind that should the worst happen, you're going to be okay. Most financial experts recommend an emergency fund containing at least 3 to 6 months of your emergency expenses. However, most people have less than 1k in savings. My income fluctuates from month to month, but even on months where I've had a really great earning month, I set that extra money aside for my emergency funds and for my investments. And by doing that, I'm putting money aside for future me, rather than using it for short-term gratification for present-day me. Frugality equals freedom. Spending beyond your means is without a doubt a threat to your freedom. That's because you'll be left with pressures on your time and your mental and physical health as your life is ruled by consumerism. The more your expectations of your standard of living grow, the more the pressure on you grows to work harder, longer hours in order to fulfill that. In his book, The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel says that the highest form of wealth is the ability to wake up every morning and say, I can do whatever I want today. When you live within your means, you can save more of your salary, you won't have debt, and you can save and plan for the future. This unlocks freedom to work less, freedom to spend your time doing the things you really want to do, and freedom from the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. The next reason I am extremely frugal is that growing wealth isn't about being clever. Building wealth for the future doesn't require you to come up with some incredibly innovative multi-million pound idea. The truth is, building wealth is about patience, commitment, and making frugal choices, which any of us can do. It's pretty boring setting aside money into an investment account every single month, knowing that you're not going to touch it for 20 or 30 years. But £400 put away every single month with an average return of 8% can net you £240,000 after 20 years. Being frugal and having patience reaps rewards in the long run, and you don't need a high intellect or even special skills in order to do this. You know, the vast majority of Warren Buffett's wealth actually came after his 50th birthday, thanks to the power of compounding interest. And the final reason why I am extremely frugal is that comparison is just exhausting. You will never be the best or the richest. Sorry, Elon. There is always going to be someone slightly ahead of you or overtaking you. If you are constantly comparing yourself, your home, your lifestyle to other people, you will always feel like you're coming up short in some way. And the thing is, you will be miserable. It impacts on your physical and mental health as you constantly struggle to meet this very high bar that you have set for yourself. You're working longer and harder hours, but always coming up short. And comparison is even more exhausting in this modern age where we're not just comparing ourselves to our friends, our family, our loved ones and our co-workers, but also to people we don't even know on social media. When you compare yourself to an influencer's incredibly glamorous and beautiful looking life, you're comparing your normal life to someone else's business. They are online showing you this lifestyle because presenting that lifestyle, that image, that is their business. They are presenting you with an unrealistic image manufactured purely for your entertainment. And trying to make that your standard for success is just a recipe for disaster. Instead of getting bogged down with the toxicity of comparing myself to other people, I focus on what I have and remind myself to be grateful that I have everything that I really need. Look, let's be honest. Earning significant sums undoubtedly makes a difference to your life. You can buy nicer things, you can afford nicer holidays, you can meet your bills with ease, but you do not have limitless cash, and even people on 6 figures end up feeling like they want more. There's nothing wrong with striving to better yourself and improve your earnings, but it's not necessarily a road to ultimate happiness unless you have control of your finances. Someone on 100k who spends a penny over their salary every month isn't rich. They're in debt. Ultimately, frugality benefits you no matter what your salary, because it's about living within your means and allocating every penny that you earn to creating a life that you love. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear what you think about this topic. Why is being frugal important to you? Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more from me.